over the last few hours, the parliament has passed on first reading, so it's still not final, but on first reading, it's grants to every citizen program, which will give you and me and the rest of us each 750 shekels, which is a little bit more than $200. There will be some means testing on those at the very, very top end. They'll get the money taken away on their taxes later on. There has been a lot of controversy surrounding this program. There's still some more hoops for it to jump through. Some ultra-Orthodox lawmakers want to add not only grants for up to the third child, but for the fourth and fifth. So that's making its way through Parliament. Also, by the way, Natasha, compensation for those event hall owners who have just been absolutely shut out after the events at their event halls were a big cause of the second wave of the outbreak. That also making its way through the Israeli Parliament. Importantly, will include the requirement that those event halls give back those deposits to those couples who had booked weddings that didn't end up happening. In many cases, Natasha, the event hall owners kept the money. The Israeli parliament's going to tell them they got to give it back.
Right, and then, you know, the High Court of Justice has just canceled the health ministry's authority to give sick days to Israelis forced to enter quarantine. Why is that the case?
Well, listen, the Manufacturers Association brought the case in court saying, why should we as businesses, as employers, pay people sick days when they're not actually sick? Because if you're in quarantine because you came into contact with somebody who had the virus or you came back from abroad, you're not actually sick yourself in most cases, but you're claiming sick days. So the Manufacturers Association said, not fair to impose that cost to businesses. High Court agreed. The businesses are still going to have to pay until the end of September to give the government time to have some kind of plan B. End of the day, Natasha, the money's probably going to come from taxpayers, from the state coffers, not from the business.
Well, obviously, I'm sure the public is not happy about that ruling because obviously you can't control who you come into contact with for the most part. But what is happening with the regulations? Is Israel going to be seeing any sort of new lockdowns, or is that just off the table completely?
Listen, we're going to be hearing from Roni Gamzu, the new project manager for the coronavirus, in the coming days, probably even tomorrow. And he's going to lay out his plan, including some information about that. What he has indicated he will do is have a more uniform approach. So instead of having 35% capacity in dining halls and hotels, 10 or 20 people inside of restaurants, and a set of regulations that is confusing everybody. He wants to have a uniform guideline in any indoor space. That could also, by the way, importantly affect synagogues, who have now 10 people inside a space. So have some uniformity, but the debate here has moved away from lockdowns as at least the growth in the numbers is moderated. In fact, Natasha, as we talked about last night, I think, the government's actually talking about opening up the skies and opening up the borders, and of course in a regulated way, but that'll put Israel on par with Europe and other parts of the world, and potentially opening at least some tourism.